FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached on insidious, evil tendencies, corrupt tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies to the Democratic Party. You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right. Do you know what Sean Hannity used to do to me when I told him Kamala Harris had a chance? He'd laugh.
Uh-oh, guys, we got another tongue lashing coming up here from Stephen A. Smith. Okay, I'm showing him a little bit more respect these days and not calling him Stephen A. Simp, because he isn't out here just capping and making excuses for Kamala Harris in basically every video that he releases these days. But that's only after she got her butt swept, horrendously humiliated in this last election. Now, Stephen A. knows why all this happened, so I give him credit for pointing these things out, but he does make himself look like a buffoon on a regular basis by continuing to stand behind the radical left obstructionist Democrats, okay? The weak, failed Democrats he still stands behind, still keeps voting for them, even if he doesn't know what the hell they even support, which is silly. And that's why those videos where I did call him Stephen A. Simp are staying up. The internet never forgets, okay? But Stephen A. is at it again. He's going off about this whole January 6th thing where the FBI was found to have had confidential human resources at the Capitol on January 6th, including people inside of the buildings where the fake news, okay, the legacy news media is still trying and obviously failing because they lost the election and they're still trying to do the same thing. Failing is what they're trying to do because that's what they're doing. They're still trying to pretend as though the Republicans are wrong. They said it was federal agents, FBI agents at the Capitol, but no, they said that they asked if it was anything. Was it agents? Was it confidential human resources? Was it contractors? Was it any type of employee, volunteer, anybody associated with the FBI whatsoever? And like always, the Democrats lied, the fake news lied, and Stephen A. Smith is pissed. Without further ado, let's get into his reaction.
I want to get into some politics before we get on out of here, as we've now entered the final month of Joe Biden's presidency.
Good riddance.
And for the sake of argument, it hasn't been a good one. The Democrats lost the White House, Senate, and House in the November election. Meanwhile, this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced plans to resign at the end of the Biden administration as President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity.
Illegal. This is illegal. Illegal.
During the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appear to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted
I wonder what
follow.
that means when they say, oh, they went to the Capitol on their own, or they appeared to have gone. Does this mean they were invited? Were they coerced? I mean, what's the real story there? Because that just sounds like a bunch of BS as well. Why the hell would they show up to the Capitol on their own if they're FBI informants for no reason? This is stupid.
For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago, end quote. So 23 folks for the FBI were in the crowd. And we're just finding that out.
Well, 26 plus.
Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that.
Of course not.
When the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee, by President Biden before her, by Democrats in both the House and the Senate, as they articulated the belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as
lying.
A profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case. And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that the process is rigged, the Democrats are this or that, they're talking about us, but look at what they do. We don't know all the details. It's a report. Justice Department comes out with this. That's not my big issue.
Well, let's not forget, guys, this report, again, is coming out years later, like 4 years later, and who knows how much cleanup work they've done. Who knows how meticulously they worded everything. I'm sure that they went over this report, probably combed over this joker about 100 different times, had all kinds of different people looking at it to make sure this was perfect to release before they released it without actually being factual. Trust me, guys, I do a lot of important work. I actually do similar stuff, but what I release is honest.
My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way.
All the time, every day.
Where's the $1.5 billion that was given to the Democratic Party?
It's gone, bruh. Oprah Winfrey got it. Beyonce got it. Cardi B has it. What do you mean? You mad you didn't get a piece? They didn't pay you, Stephen A? Hell, I think Charlamagne is one of the only people who didn't. I don't think I've seen evidence that he got paid. But Roland Martin, what's that other fool's name? Al Sharpton. All these losers got paid.
Where is it? Where'd the money go? Why was Oprah given $2.5 million?
Here we go.
Why was Al Sharpton's National Action Network given that much money? Before interviews, by the way. Why?
This is horrible. Look how bad
I think it was
this looks.
$500K for the National Action Network. Why? I want to be clear. I don't have any problem with the National Action Network taking that money because they don't have a lot of money. I have more of a problem with Oprah taking $2.5 million when she's worth over $1 billion.
Facts. This is straight.
But speaking to us as if her heart and soul was so immersed in supporting Kamala Harris. Well, then why didn't you do it for free?
It's because she lied, Stephen A. It's really that simple. How much evidence do we need, guy? I feel like this conversation is over. Like, we know that the campaign was fake. It was fraudulent. It was bogus. You've been hoodwinked. You've been run amok. You've been fooled. You've been tricked, okay? Anybody who's Democrat, who was watching this, who voted for Kamala Harris, who believed in all the joy and all the Project 2025 and all the insurrectionists, you got fooled. They made fools of you. Don't be mad at me for saying it. Be mad at them for doing it to you and vote against their dumb asses next time.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking these things because I think it's important. And I think that the time has arrived where we have to stop letting stuff go all the time, particularly when it comes to the left. I mean, I see
Stephen A?
Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, you know, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of?
Shout out to Officer Tatum.
You know what I'm getting to the Democratic Party? You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right. I would love to argue with Sean Hannity. How can I? Do you know what Sean Hannity used to do to me
Bruh.
when I told him Kamala Harris had a chance? He'd laugh. Like literally, genuinely giggle. He'd go on TV and put on his straight face to y'all.
This is hilarious.
You got to be concerned. This election could go either way. He laughed. He wasn't concerned about her.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Before I called out Biden, he was calling Biden Sleepy Joe. What's percolating on social media today? Just go and look at it, y'all. Joe Biden is caught napping at an African summit in Angola
Stop laughing at this.
for at least a full minute. They didn't say whether he was snoring or not.
Oh my God.
That's about all that was missing. But he was clearly asleep.
I'm dying here. I'm dying.
I'm not going to pardon my son. I want to state for the record, I have no problem with him pardoning Hunter Biden. I had a problem with him trying to act like it was unjust what was being done in pursuit of getting after my son because they wanted to get to me. All you had to say was, I'm pardoning my son because he's my son. You couldn't just say that, though. You know why you couldn't say that, President Biden? Because you had been telling us it was the last thing that you were going to do. And why did you say that?
I got a problem with it because this fool lied about not doing it, one. Two, he's been saying that nobody's above the law and that Trump is undermining the justice system. And then now Joe Biden's saying, well, the justice system's corrupt and he's undermining it. A bunch of Democrats said, well, Joe Biden's a great and awesome and upstanding guy by respecting the court decision in the justice system. And then as soon as he decided to pardon Hunter, all of a sudden they switched sides and said, oh, well, he did the right thing. Yeah, you damn right I got a problem with it because these people are hypocritical idiots and make themselves look intellectually dishonest every single day. As a matter of fact, they don't just make themselves look that. They expose themselves as being intellectually dishonest every single day. And Stephen A., even though he's calling a lot of things out in this video, he himself is intellectually dishonest because he knows that the Democrats are wrong and they lie and they gaslight, they cheat and they steal and they're fraudulent and they trans kids and they want to destroy society. They want to destroy traditionalism. They want to destroy the freaking world if they don't get their way. He knows it, but he has voted Democrat every time anyway. So he's really not that much better, to be honest with you.
Why did Karine Jean-Pierre, remember how she said he will absolutely not pardon his son?
Liar.
It's all over social media right now. They kept saying it. It's everywhere. How many times did the Democrats tell us no one's above the law? No one's above the law. No one's above the law. Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Elizabeth Warren, who makes you feel like your soul is going to hell if you don't agree with her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, she doesn't make me feel like a damn thing because, I mean, this lady swore she was Indian up and down. Turns out she's not at all. I mean, this lady who was a quack and a clown, and she was back then and she still is today.
Inconsistency after inconsistency after inconsistency. We can argue policies. We can argue politics all day long. But the Democrats worked really, really diligently to make the case that the right had a monopoly on insidious, evil tendencies, corrupt tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies. And every time they made those accusations, we turn around and find out that at least some of them are guilty of the same shit.
It was the same. The Democrats are literally, they make stuff up against Trump that's not even true. And then they do the same stuff to him that they accuse Trump of doing that he's never done to begin with. I just mentioned Project 2025 earlier. All they do is lie. They called it an insurrection and it clearly wasn't. They deleted freaking evidence of what happened, including Trump calling in the National Guard, which he still has evidence of, so they got busted on that. But they try to say he didn't call authorize National Guard. These people lie about everything.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of all of it. They've actually made Donald Trump look like he was right instead of them.
He was right. What do you mean look like he was?
Think about that.
He is right.
He didn't just get to raise his fist on election night as a victor. He's been raising it every night ever since for one different issue after another that he keeps winning because he keeps highlighting what they lied about. I'm sick of it. I have nothing to say. Enjoy y'all weekend. I got to get to Vegas.
Stephen A., if you so mad, then why you out here basically licking Democrat balls? Like, excuse the vulgarity, guys, but I mean, this guy basically is a freaking gonad tickler for the Democrats. I mean, like, he is like a used side chick who's mad. Like, I thought you said you was gonna leave and you said you couldn't because you needed help paying the bills. And I mean, it's like he knows that he's being abused. It's like an abused, battered wife or something, and he knows he's being abused, but he has Stockholm syndrome or something. How fed up are you? Are you fed up to where you're gonna leave? Like, this ain't working for me no more, I'm leaving. Or are you loyal, so loyal that you're gonna keep calling out the BS, but stand behind the Democrat Party as though they're your family, as though they're a religion that you follow and worship, right? As though you're the one who's in a cult rather than MAGA being a cult. You trying to call damn near 80 million votes for Trump a cult at this point? Or is it the people who know that they're being lied to? They know they're being gaslit. They know that these people are trans and kids. They know they lie about abortion. They lie about the border. They lie about January 6th. They lie about every damn thing. You know that they lie about everything and you support them anyway. The Democrat politicians and the fake news aren't just the only ones who need to be ashamed of themselves. If you know about all of this stuff and you just, oh, well, the Republicans are worse, or, oh, I'm going to support the Democrats anyway, you're just as bad. Maybe even worse. These people are just trying to accomplish their goals any way that they can, even if it's lying and gaslighting and BSing. But if you just stand behind the Democrats for basically no reason besides that's just what you're used to doing, even if you see that as wrong, it's like you're a willing participant in evil. Think about that. You want to, I mean, everybody has to face the man above at some point. You sure you want to go there and say, well, I know that they were, you know, trying to chop little boys' wee-wees off and trying to chop girls' TTs off and give them these puberty blockers and stuff, but I thought that he was a threat to democracy. So, you know, I just went along with the transing of the kids and the drag story time and, you know, the blue sky pedophilia app. I just went along with it. I know I'm not okay with that. I need these people to call out the Democrats, call them out on their lies, call them out on their BS, call them out on the gaslighting, call them out on being exposed, call people out by name. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, call them all out by names with specifics, call them out on your shows to their face and say, I'm not voting for you guys. You're dishonest. You're liars. And I'm not going to take it anymore. And I'm going to tell other people not to vote for you too. If you can't do that, you might as well shut the hell up. But that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
To the Democratic Party. You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? And every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right.